grade parents? My name is Benjamin Reynolds, and I am the principal of Roosevelt High School. I am excited to welcome you and your student to the 2020-2021 school year. I'd like to start this video by introducing you to some people that will play a special role in your students' lives over the next 4 years. First, the rest of our administrative team. Assistant Principal Patrick Hickey, Assistant Principal Lisa Wojtovich, and last but not least, Assistant Principal and Athletic Director Thomas DeSena. Next, I would like to introduce you to our counseling team. The counselors at Roosevelt are here to offer academic counseling, college and career counseling, and social and emotional counseling. Our counseling team is made up of Mrs. Kelly, counselor, Mrs. Agee, counselor, Mr. Babbity, counselor, Mr. Loya, special ed teacher consultant serving as counselor for special ed students, Mrs. Sutka, social worker, and Mrs. Tracy, social worker. You will get to know many of these individuals over the next 4 years, and please feel free to contact any of us at any time if we can help you out. The first major topic I'd like to talk to you about tonight is one of the biggest differences between middle school and high school, and that is credits. At Roosevelt High School, 26 credits are required to graduate. We offer a 7-period day in 2 semesters. So each semester, students take 7 classes, and each class is worth a half a credit. They have the ability to earn 3.5 credits each semester or 7 credits in a year. Students need to obtain 26 credits to graduate from Roosevelt High School. Oftentimes, students don't realize that in high school, if you fail a class, you don't just move on. You have to retake that class. There are certain classes that are required to be passed by Roosevelt High School in the Michigan Merit Curriculum. You can see some of those examples here. Now, if this seems a little overwhelming or confusing, don't worry. Remember those people I just introduced you to? Our counseling team, that's their area of expertise, and they're here to help you along the way. So if you have any questions or concerns or seem a little confused about how credits work, feel free to reach out to your counselor. But please emphasize to your students that in high school, you have to pass your classes. You won't go on if you don't pass. You'll have to retake that class. It's a really important thing that students understand this. We look forward to working with you and your student to obtain all the credits they need and be successful to graduate from Roosevelt High School. Next, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Hickey and Mrs. Wojtovich. They're going to talk to you a little bit about how this specific school year will look to start as we start remotely and with a virtual academy. I'll talk to you again at the end of this video. Thank you.
I'm here right now just to welcome you and your child as we begin this journey through our high school. And while it may not be the ideal way to begin, it certainly is historic, and we're going to do everything we can to help your child be successful as we begin school in the remote learning. And I know that some of you have chosen to go with the Wyandotte Virtual Academy. I'm going to begin with some of our expectations for remote learning. Some of them may apply to the Wyandotte Virtual Academy, but I'm specifically speaking to those that are going remote for September because they have to, with the plans, hopefully, that we'll be back in October face-to-face, something I know we're all looking forward to. One thing is participation is required. This will look much different than it was in the spring. We expect students to participate in whatever is required by their teacher. We expect them to complete all of their assignments, projects, assessments that are assigned. Grading will look as close to normal as possible. There's going to be flexibility. We understand that this is not ideal. It's just what we have to do right now to be safe. So you will be graded on what you learn and on what you complete, just like you normally would be. So the next thing I'm going to go into is just some recommendations on how to succeed. And I think some of these recommendations will apply to people that are in the remote learning through September and also those that are in the Wyandotte Virtual Academy. One thing that's recommended for your child is create some kind of work space for them, the best you can. And not every house there's an ideal spot, but as best you can. Someplace that might be quiet, comfortable, someplace where maybe the child typically did their homework, where they read, someplace where the child will learn best is where you want them to be. We still recommend, especially it's been a long time since a lot of them have been on some sort of sleep schedule, but maybe making sure they do get a good night's sleep. It's one of those things I think, not just for children, but for adults as well. We don't understand how important getting a good night's sleep is. And when they do get up and ready, classes are going to begin. Again, this is for the remote learning, but we do recommend, even if they're in the virtual academy, to establish some kind of schedule. But we will have a schedule created for them that'll begin at 8 o'clock. And they're not going to be, just to ease some concerns, sitting in front of a computer from 8 to 2:51. It's not the way it's going to look. There'll be more information on that later, and certainly once your child meets their teacher, they'll explain how all that's going to operate. But get dressed and ready for school. I think it does help when you're, dressed. We know that dress does matter, and that you're dressed like a student, dressed ready to learn the way you normally have dressed for the last 9 years of school. Try to do that within your house, just to mimic the classroom setting as best you can, is recommended. We think that'll help. Keeping your video on when you're in your Zoom meetings. I think it's going to be required anyway for most of your teachers, but we believe it's the best way to remain a part of the class and not just you're a participant, not just a spectator. You'll learn more if you're a participant than if you're just a spectator to these Zoom sessions, which not every class period is going to have a Zoom session every day. So things will look, there will be a variety here. The last thing we want to do is overwhelm you with too much screen time, too much Zooming. So we are taking all that into consideration. The other thing is, and this is for the parents especially, this is not an expectation that your child's being homeschooled. Our plans are our teachers are going to, help teach your child. And also when they're in high school, I keep saying child, but they're moving into adulthood and they need to take a little more responsibility for their own learning. And this is a good opportunity for them to do that. The teachers will be there to teach, to help, to provide intervention if they're struggling, because these grades are going to be based on learning and what they get done, and we want them to do well. So make sure that they are reaching out to their teachers if they need to, that they're participating, and that we're not looking at this as the parents are homeschooling the child. We want to be there for them, and that's why we're establishing this schedule. It's why our teachers are going to be working extraordinarily hard to make sure that we do our jobs, and we want the kids to succeed. They will be using Google Classroom, which most of the students, if not all of them, are familiar with. That'll be the main means of communication with the staff member. That could be either from the child or from the parent. Last recommendations I'm going to leave you with, to keep it kind of short, is making sure that your child, I mentioned the sleep, exercise, a good diet. We know these are the things that keep a strong immune system and keep a child not only physically healthy but mentally healthy as well. So sleep, exercise, and a good diet. Keep them healthy and follow the CD recommendations. If you're going indoors with groups of people, you got a mask on, your social distancing. The quicker we can contain this, the quicker we can get back to face-to-face. So good luck with everything this year. Again, my name is Pat Hickey. Reach out to us if you need any help and support. We are here for your child. Go Bears.
Welcome to Roosevelt High. I am Lisa Vojtovich, one of the assistant principals here. I'd like to take this opportunity to talk about attendance, the virtual academy, and our extracurricular activities. First, attendance. School attendance matters. It is arguably one of the most important indicators of school success. This holds true whether the learning is face-to-face or in a remote learning environment. Our 9th graders need to attend their video class sessions every day, as this will set them up for academic success. Attendance will be taken in each class period daily by your son or daughter's teachers, and our school's attendance policy will be followed. If your child is going to miss a remote learning class, we ask that you please notify the attendance office of the excused absence within 24 hours. Messages may be recorded at any time of the day or night. Please also carefully monitor voicemail, your email account, and letters received, as these are methods we use to communicate about attendance. Tardies and absences can additionally be viewed using Parent Connect. Our next topic, the Virtual Academy. For our 9th graders starting high school in our Wyandotte Virtual Academy, their advisor will be contacting you regarding how attendance will be monitored in this format. Attending classes in the virtual classroom will be a change for most students, and there are strategies you can use to increase your child's success. Ensure that your child is putting in the time and effort necessary to learn the content. Reach out to your assigned advisor when you do have questions or concerns. Your advisor will help navigate this process. And finally, you are able to check in on your child's progress in their classes on this platform. You will have access to information regarding the time they are spending in their classes, as well as their current achievement. And finally, extracurricular activities. I want to encourage your child to get involved here at the high school through our athletic program, student leadership opportunities, and extracurricular activities. Student participation in these activities helps to foster a connection with the school, and studies have shown students are more successful when they get involved. Some of these will be running in a remote fashion through Zoom or other video platforms at the start of school. I look forward to the day when I can see you in person, but for now, don't hesitate to reach out to myself, the administration team, as well as any of our teachers with questions or concerns. Our priority is for our incoming 9th graders to have a smooth transition to their next chapter in life as a high school student. I'm looking forward to working with you and your child over the next 4 years. Go Bears!
Hello 9th grade parents, Mr. Reynolds here again. I hope that you found the information provided in this video to be helpful. And don't worry, there's more information headed your way soon. I'd like to wrap up by offering you some reminders. First of all, if you haven't already, please update your emergency contact information. The link to do this can be found on our district website. It's been emailed home to parents, and it's been posted on our social media pages. I'd also recommend that you follow Roosevelt High School on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We use these social media pages to share our story and share important information with our families. Lastly, 9th grade orientation is on August 26th from 11 a.m. to noon. This will be a virtual orientation run by our upperclassmen Link Crew leaders. This orientation has proven to be fun and helpful for our 9th graders. It will help them transition into high school. If you haven't already, please encourage your student to attend. We know that this school year is going to look different, but we are confident that if we all work together, students, families, and staff, we can have a successful and safe school year. We can't wait to see you all in person again. As always, go Bears!